Hi, it's Janet from the TIPS team, and I'd like to share some pointers about using Google Translate. Hopefully my screen sharing is going to work this time. So we're going to screen share our entire screen. And we're going to get rid of this one. And I think we're looking good. Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about ways you can use Google Translate. So right now, I have a page up on my screen. It's a page from today's Edmonton Journal. And I have this little button up in the top of my screen. It looks like a little blue rectangle with a G in it. That's Google Translate. And you see it says left click to translate and right click for options. So I'm just going to click on it. And I'm going to click on translate this page. And so what it's done is I've set my language as French, and so it has automatically translated this whole page into French. Now, so if I were French, I would be able to understand that a little bit better. Anyway, let's close that up, and I'd like to show you how you get that set up. To get Google Translate, first I'm going to go to the web store. So I'm on a laptop, so I'm going to click in my top left corner. Same would be true on a desktop. If you're on a Chromebook, you're going to click in the bottom left on the little magnifying glass. That will take you to your apps. One more click takes you to the web store. Once I'm in the web store, I'm going to do a search for Google Translate. And what this is, it's called an extension, which means that it's going to put that little button right up in your toolbar here. So it's not under the apps, it's down under the extensions right here. So you'll click on Add to Chrome, and you'll see right here with this button, you can add to Chrome. You can see we already have over 18,000 people who are using this and all kinds of feedback that you can look at if you're interested in that as well. So once you've added it to Chrome, then you can go in there and get your settings set up. So I'm just going to flip back to my Edmonton Journal article. And if I click into my settings, I could have done a right click, but I'm just going to click here and go extension options. That's where I can choose my primary language and how I want my information to display. So let's say my primary language isn't French. We have over 90 languages in Google Translate that you can translate to and from. I'm going to go to Arabic, but you'll see if you scan down the list, we have many, many languages. So if my primary language is Arabic, do I want pop-up translations to immediately display the pop-up, which is what I've checked off, or would I rather have an icon that I click to show a pop-up, or would I rather not have anything display, but no, I can translate the page by clicking in the top? I think as a student, it's most intuitive to have that pop-up immediately display. That's why I've checked it off like this. So I'm going to go save. Now I am Arabic, not French. If I go back to my article about Twitter from the Edmonton Journal, I can now click in here and say translate this page. And you just wait a moment and you'll see that now that page has been entirely translated into Arabic. Think of the power of this when working with our students and also when working with their parents. If you have a handout that you want to send home to parents, perhaps a letter for them to sign, all you need to do is bring that up into Google Docs and go through that process. Here, for example, is a Google Doc about Google Translate. The link to that doc is right here, https://goo.gl/small/sy, capital P, small x, capital P2 will take you to this same document. Now, if I have this document complete in English, I can click right here. I can go translate this page. It remembers that my settings are set to Arabic and it's automatically translated that page to Arabic. And I may have said before, it's not a perfect translation, but the quality of the translation is improving all the time. And as I've mentioned in the handout here, translations are crowdsourced. So if you do understand a language and you see that a translation isn't very good, you can immediately get in there and fix it. And you'll be able to see how that works in just a moment. So if I'm on a website, I've got this in Arabic, I'll close it off, back to English. Let's say I'm a student who's quite capable in English, but just has some trouble from time to time that person would rather read in English and we're trying to, encourage people to use English, what they can do is just double click on a word that they don't understand. And not only do they have it in English,
company,
but they also have it in Arabic.
شركة.
And if I want more information, I can click on more and it will give me the word in English, it gives me definitions, and the same thing in Arabic. So it goes in more detail. So you can see I've been playing with French and with Arabic, and so both of those languages have come up in my recent languages up at the top here. Another thing that I like about Google Translate is when you're on this page of Translate, you can, company is coming for supper. As I write my English, my Arabic also appears. Not only that, but there is voice input. So all I need to do is speak, and as I speak, the subtitle of the translation is appearing on the other side of the screen. So think of the power of this if you're working with a group of students from another country in your classroom who are having challenges with the most basic of instructions. If you are able to have what you're saying be projected onto your smartboard at the front of the class, along with that translation in the other language, that helps to maintain students' focus and it helps them to have a better sense of what you're saying. Exciting. So I can hear it.
So all I need to do is speak, and as I speak, the subtitle of the translation is appearing on the other side of the screen. So,
and same in the other language.
لذلك كل ما عليك القيام به هو التحدث وأنا أتكلم العنوان.
Now, as I said, the translation isn't perfect, but again, it's better than nothing. And as I said, it's a tool that's going to be improving all of the time. So an exciting little tool. It can be used, as I showed you, in Google Docs. It can be used on web pages, and it can also be used in PDFs. One more thing I would like to show you is how it works on an iPad. If you're using, if you have an iPad in your class, or if you or your students have their own devices that they're using, they can use Google Translate on that as well. So I'm just going to get in here. Actually, hang on just a second because I don't want to project my code to you. So I'm just going to log on here. And now I'll stream it out to the computer. Okay, so here's a picture of my screen, and you can see some of my more recent translations down the side there. Now, I can touch in the top here, and I can type, and it will automatically give me my translation. Here I'm, well, it says French to English, so we'll make that from English to French by clicking in the top there. So there's my English, and there's my French beneath it. But I can also use voice input again. So if I click on my microphone at the bottom, here is an example of voice input, and it automatically makes that translation for me on the screen. Not only that, but it also allows for photograph input. So I have with me here a 5 Alive juice container. So I'm just going to click on my photo, and you see how I'm moving from English to French, and it says align text in the middle of it. So I'm going to take my 5 Alive, and since it's English to French, I'm going to hold up my English side in front of the camera, wherever that would be. There you go. So what we have is we have it written in English, but we are trying to align our text so it will read it in French. So we see our peach is turning to pêche. So that is the English side of it. If I turn it to the French side, so you'll see that as I move this around, let's see if we can get the vitamin part. So this is in French to begin with. And we're trying to move it into the English. So you'll see that it's not perfect, but it's pretty exciting when you think that somebody who is new to the country can start to get a sense of what something means simply by holding up their phone. So you see that is written in French, so you can switch from one language to the other. So I'm just going to get out of here. So that's a quick little introduction to Google Translate. On the handout that I read out to you, it gives you some more information about it. It shows, oh right, that it even translates handwriting. I should show you that as well. So as I pull it back from the iPad up onto the screen again, up at the top, you can see there's the photo, there's the voice input, you touch to type, and the last one here is the handwriting. So if I touch the handwriting, a little box pops up at the bottom, and I can say, how's the weather in my messy handwriting? And as I type that in there, it's automatically translated it to French at the top of the screen. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do with your iPad and Google Translate, and what you can do on the computer with Google Translate. As time goes on, I think we're going to get a greater sense of the power of this tool. What I suggest you do as a teacher is join the Google Plus community, and you'll see in there people are posting ways that they're using Google Translate, and including little videos and such about it, which will help us, I think, as we all move down this path together. There's also a Translate community, and that's where you can go to support translation by helping out. And there's a translator toolkit that can help you if you want to keep more track of the kinds of work that you're translating. Last but not least, but related to that, is within the translation here under Google Translate. Not only do you have the languages that you're translating to and far, but up in the top right, there is a phrasebook. So if there is something that you're going to use often, so let's say I'm going from English to Arabic, and I say, let's do voice. Hello, how was your day? Question mark. Now let's say I know that I'm going to use this often. I can click on the little star, and that has been saved in my phrasebook. So as I put together a series of phrases of things that I use, that I say a lot, I can very quickly pull them up in conversation with people. So instant translation, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. Take some time, go in there, play with it, become comfortable with it. And I look forward to hearing ways that, that we're starting to use Google Translate with our students. As I said, I think it's a great leveling mechanism to help to be much more inclusive of our English language learners and also with their families. Thanks. Bye.